destruction in eastern Kentucky, but now many are banding together to help each other in recovery efforts. We'll have more in just a few minutes.
Also on WKYT this morning, we have new information right now about a shooting investigation in Nicholasville. It is not the first time that the suspect has been charged with murder.
And Lexington police looking for a man who cut 2 other people during a robbery early this morning.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. It's your Thursday, and it's so good to have you with us on WKYT. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. Hope you're having a great start to your day. I know we are.
Yeah, it's a good day out there. Finally a chance to dry out for those who have so much to do to clean up from the flooding.
Right.
And a chance to mow the lawns if you don't have those very difficult
yes,
issues.
Thank you for mentioning that.
Right.
That is something that a lot of us need to do, Micah.
Yeah, and I heard about 4 or 5 yesterday, just all around my neighborhood, as I was hanging out outside with the little man, and people are trying to get that done because it seems like we just can't take a big, long break from the rain. So you might as well, when you get a dry day, take advantage of it, right? 66 degrees in Lexington. Lawrenceburg, my friends there, holding on to the mid-60s. We're at 63 in the Paris area. Winchester, Mount Sterling, Camargo down the Mountain Parkway into the Slade community. We're doing all right this morning. Natural Bridge area, and also sitting there at the gorge, looking beautiful once that sun starts to rise here in the next hour or so. Plenty out your Thursday. We get into the afternoon. 84. It's not bad. It's actually still below average, so we will take it. And also that mixture of sun and clouds. We'll call it partly cloudy, partly sunny, whatever you want to call it. At least it's dry. That's what we'll call it, right? Then as we get through the next few days, it gets warmer, and also bringing in that chance of rain sometime in the near future. And I'll show you when you can expect that in just a few minutes.
Looking for those improvements. Thank you, Micah.
Well, we continue to track ongoing recovery in eastern Kentucky this morning after really just devastating and historic flooding. Actually killed 3 people in Johnson County, and it left hundreds without homes.
Horrible situation, but even though destruction remains, we're already starting to see communities come together. They're helping each other and beginning that recovery process. It's going to be a long one. WKYT's Mark Barber is at our live desk with the latest from Johnson County. Mark?
Good morning, Bill. As rescue crews are still searching for one man who was swept away by floodwaters, and as they are trying to locate 4 others who are still unaccounted for, battered survivors are starting to share their stories. Brad Salisbury says he and his family watched as floodwaters ripped homes right off of their foundation. He says that they tried to climb onto the roof of their home when their own house started flooding. Fortunately, the water started to recede before their home was swept away too. 3 people died in those floodwaters. The coroner identified 2 of those victims as Herman Eddie May and 74-year-old Willa Mae Pennington. Salisbury says the body of one of his neighbors, 22-year-old Richard Shane Blair, was found yesterday.
When I seen it kept coming up and seeing all these houses going by, you know, and vehicles, I mean, it washed every vehicle I had off, and it's just so unreal.
Salisbury and so many other survivors have lost everything they had. So groups from across the country and even Canada have come to the Flat Gap community to search for their missing pets. They say they're hoping that reuniting dogs just like that when they're with their owners will give them a bright spot during such a difficult time. Now, that one dog that you were just seeing video of right there, we've learned that he belonged to the Blair family. And again, 22-year-old Richard Shane Blair, he was one of the people who died in those floodwaters. We're told that that dog was returned to Blair's mother. From the live desk, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Mark, thank you very much. And WKYT and the American Red Cross are joining forces to show victims of this week's floods that Kentucky cares. Friday will be a day of giving. Red Cross volunteers will be taking donations over the phone from noon until 6:30. It's our way to help those who lost their homes or were impacted by these tremendous and tough floods. And many here in Lexington have already started relief efforts for people in Johnson County. An organization turned an open house for its new Lexington office into a way to help Johnson County flood victims. Americans for Prosperity Kentucky now has an office on Corporate Drive off Harrodsburg Road, and last night staff and volunteers collected donations of baby food, personal hygiene items, and cleaning supplies, and some other items that are badly needed in Johnson County. They say they just wanted to do something to help.
Johnson County is an area that's sometimes overlooked by populations in Louisville and Lexington, and it's been horribly hit by the flooding, much more so than any other area in the state.
The organization plans to take the donations it collected to Johnson Central High School later today.
Well, we have some new information this morning about a shooting investigation that we're tracking out of Nicholasville.
23-year-old Carlos Taylor is in jail, charged with attempted murder. WKYT's Michelle Chamberlain is live from UK Hospital this morning, where the victim has been taken.
Michelle, we're learning that this is not the suspect's first arrest for a violent crime. What has he been charged with before?
You're right, Bill. This guy was charged with murder in 2010, but convicted by a jury of reckless homicide. Taylor shot and killed a man in January of 2010 outside an apartment complex on Larkin Road in Lexington during what police say was a drug deal gone wrong. A judge sentenced Taylor to 5 guys in prison in that case. Now we're working to find out why Taylor was released from prison before his 5-year sentence was completed. As for this recent shooting, Taylor was arrested last night by police and charged with attempted murder and possession of a handgun by a felon. Nicholasville police say he shot a man yesterday afternoon near a children's park. He is set for arraignment this morning at 8:30 in the case. Now, the victim is being treated here at UK Hospital, and we're told by his family he is expected to survive his injuries, but he will have a long road to recovery ahead. Live in Lexington, Michelle Chamberlain, WKYT.
Michelle, thank you very much. 5:37 now on WKYT this morning, and new this morning, Lexington police are investigating a violent robbery. Police say about 2:30 this morning, 2 men were walking in a parking lot on American Avenue off South Broadway when a man came up to them. Officers tell us the suspect held a knife to one victim's stomach and demanded money. And when the second victim came to the first victim's defense, that's when police say the suspect cut both victims. Neither was taken to the hospital. Their injuries just minor.
Now on to a national story we first brought you last night. A spokesperson says former President George H.W. Bush was rushed to the hospital after a fall at his main home. Doctors say he broke a bone in his neck, but the spokesperson says the injury is not life-threatening and the former president is now stable at the hospital. He is 91 years old.
Well, the Obama administration is intensifying its campaign to convince Democrats to support the landmark nuclear deal with Iran. Just one day after meeting with House Democrats, Vice President Joe Biden will make the case to Democrats over in the Senate. And as Hannah Daniels reports now from Washington, the meeting follows President Obama's news conference in which he fiercely defended the agreement.
Vice President Joe Biden heads to Capitol Hill today to meet with Democrats on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee as he continues to lobby support for the Iran nuclear deal. President Obama is asking lawmakers on both sides to read the 100-page document first and then judge the deal on its merits.
My hope is that everyone in Congress also evaluates this agreement based on the facts, not on politics, not on posturing.
Ahead of a 2-month review of the deal, many Republicans are already threatening to vote against lifting sanctions against Iran.
Nothing is more important to the world than for 2/3 of this Congress to repudiate this dangerous folly.
President Obama also faces fierce opposition from Israel, whose leaders argue that Iran won't hold up its end of the bargain.
When you look at the inspection provisions in this deal, it's not inspections anywhere, anytime. But even if it doesn't cheat, within 10 years, they're free to build as many centrifuges as they want.
The president is sending Defense Secretary Ash Carter to Israel for talks next week, where he will work to sell the deal to international allies. Hannah Daniels for CBS News, Washington.
And the pro-Israel lobby AIPAC has issued its position on the Iran nuclear deal, urging Congress to reject it so that a stronger deal can be negotiated. Well, sports best and brightest turned out last night for the 2015 ESPYs Award show out in Los Angeles.
Yeah, mostly athletes were honored for their accomplishment, but it was one special 5-year-old in Cincinnati who's been capturing everyone's hearts and did last night. Leah Still, daughter of Cincinnati Bengals player Devin Still, was given the Jimmy V Award. Devin said a couple of days ago Leah wouldn't be able to attend the show because her immune system is still weak. So he accepted the award on Leah's behalf. He had a very special message for other children fighting the same battle as his daughter.
I'm here today to let y'all know as long as I have this platform, I'm going to continue to fight for y'all and let y'all know just how important y'all lives are and let y'all know that y'all are worth more than 4% that the government gives y'all.
Cincinnati basketball player Lauren Hill was also honored at the show. Lauren lost her battle with brain cancer back in April, and her parents stepped forward to accept her award for the best moment.
Please don't wait until you're personally affected by cancer to start kicking cancer's butt. Get in the game now.
Lauren got to play a handful of college basketball games before becoming too ill, and she raised $1 million for her pediatric cancer research. Research, we'll never forget that.
Oh,
certainly,
I
how
had
courageous she was.
Such a big impact here regionally, obviously, because Cincinnati just up the road, but really internationally and especially nationally, just a huge hero and did so much and continues to with her foundation.
And little Leah, we're all pulling for her.
Oh,
certainly.
yeah.
Time this morning is coming up on 5:42, and let's check live drive traffic and see what's going on out there early on your Thursday. Here's a look outside right now. It's a mostly clear commute.
Yeah, not seeing too much action on the Waze app, just one slow patch of traffic on New Circle between Russell Cave and New Circle.
And just some minor fog out there this morning. Shouldn't be much of a problem at all. Still a lot more to come on WKYT this morning. Hope you'll keep it here with us. Weather on the way.
Yeah, we're looking across the way. First Alert Defender live radar. We're holding on to pretty dry conditions, and it looks like it's going to stay that way the next couple of days. Here comes the heat, though. Show you all that coming up next.